for such a time as this. What do these 6 words point us toward? For us today, for Esther as well, it seems to me like it boils all down to something about like this. God's sovereign preparation of a person for a particularly important task at the appropriate time. God's sovereign preparation of a person for a particularly important task at the appropriate time. Could you be that person? Could we be those persons collectively? Let's look at this theme. 4. I think this is pointing to reason. It's pointing to positioning. It's the setup. It's the purpose. It reflects what God has done to set up the dominoes of our lives, and consider that you're positioned in a place where perhaps you're the lead domino. And that when you tip over, there's going to be a rippling impact beyond what you could have ever asked or imagined. Have you taken a good look around your own life lately? Maybe because of a new year? How did you get here today? If there was a parade of us coming across this stage and we would hear every story, we would be amazed of how this has happened. What's your position, your influence? What opportunity? What occasion? What open door? What prospect? Where has God placed you? What has God given you? Who can you disciple, mentor, walk with in yoke? Clarity of the 4 might be just very nearby. For Esther, the challenge was for her as an individual person, and that applies to us. Yet I want to remind us, E3 partners, that God's workmanship is not always and only about the individual, but God positions groups of people. He positions marriages. He positions families. He positions churches, both local, regional. He positions your team, a ministry, a class, a group, a mission agency, a media ministry. And I wonder if it could be true of us. I do believe it's true of us. It's God's positioning and God's placement. Purposeful as a collective group of people called under his name for the advancement of the kingdom in this generation for such a time as this. Such a time. It's a call for attention, a call for urgency to the current, the immediate, the present, the today. No more waiting. No more procrastinating. No more thinking about it. How about this? No more praying about it. I think we're hiding behind that cloak. I've tried to mobilize many people over the years who are still praying about it. The passing of time matters. Because you know what? You're going to run out of that stuff on this side. Are you having more sobering birthday milestones? Did they call the fire department or run for a fire extinguisher the last time they lit your candles? Did they bake a sheet cake to hold all of them? May I suggest each candle could represent a decade going forward? For such a time. It could be someone is in this room or some of us who feel regret. Because you feel like perhaps you missed the time. Take heart, my friend. God's revelation yet comes at the appointed time, and there's no time like today time, like the now time, and living and seizing the present time, like Paul said, pressing on and forgetting what is behind. Give us today our daily bread. Jesus reached the spot, looked up to him and said, Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must go to your house today. And a few verses later, Jesus says to him, today, salvation has come to this house because this man too is a son of Abraham. Encourage one another daily, as long as it is called today, so that you may not be hardened by sin's deceitfulness. And that faithful today, that I'm not looking for just yet, but it's the profound words that Jesus says to that thief on the cross. I tell you the truth, today you will be with me in paradise. Today. And as this. This is talking about specific appointment. I'm talking beyond the general appointments that reach across all of us here, the general calls, the purpose-driven calls of worship, fellowship, discipleship, ministry, and mission, of loving God, loving neighbor, being holy, making disciples. I'm talking about something more, something far more personal, particular, and specific. Task, opportunity, call, challenge, assignment, personal appointment. I had an appointment with my internal medicine doctor this past week. Something came up, I couldn't make it, so I sent Vicky. Turns out it didn't go so well. Can you imagine Dr. Bell sent her home? Didn't take the blood work? Turns out Dr. Bell expected me to show up for my appointment. Through both Old and New Testament, there are remarkable encounters of God calling people to show up for your appointment. Your as this. And probably my favorite is Moses at the burning bush. I commend you to Exodus 3 and 4. What a read. 5 times he objects to Yahweh who's burning in a bush before him. 3 questions, an excuse, and a final plea. It's almost laughable of Exodus 4:13, but Moses said finally, "O Lord, please send someone else to do it." You know what the next verse says? And the Lord's anger burned against Moses. You don't want your name in that verse. Mordecai is calling and prodding Esther. Hello? Hello? Here's my paraphrase. I strongly recommend that you consider the position you are in. The present edict for annihilation of the Jews, which includes your family, by the way, and this sounds like an appointment for you to deal with under the penalty of death anyway. Not so dramatic for the likes of such as us in this room, for the most of us, except for our colleagues who minister in places of pressure and persecution, who may feel the pressure that Esther felt more than I ever will. So if your doctor expects you to show up for your appointment, can you imagine? The Lord expects you to show up for your as this. What is your as this appointment? Is it large or small? Is it out front on the stage in front of everybody, or is it behind the scenes? Is it in your wheelhouse? Or man, it's outside your comfort zone? It's familiar, or is it calling for new wine in a new wineskin? Is it affecting scads of people or just a few? Is it providing leadership or submitting to leadership? What is your at this time, for such a time as this?